Man, I'm so bummed. As you guys, well, as some of you may or may not know, I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. Well, we just beat the Reds 6-1, but Alex Cobb was literally 1 out away from the top of the ninth to pitch a no-no. But unfortunately, the outfielder Luis Matos sort of ran his angle a little too close, a little too close to hopefully catch him out, but the ball passed him a little too farther out back on him. But they still won. But still, that would have been a great night. Oh, by the way, this is TJ, and we're doing the full playthrough, episode 3 of Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot and the London Case. So enough of sports right now. Great win, but Alex Cobb should have gotten the no-no.
Have you seen Miss Babanian?
So
she wanted to speak with me after the bishop was finished chewing my ear off. But it seems the pair of them have disappeared.
I'm afraid not.
Can't have been that important then.
Alright, so in the last episode we've begun chapter 2, and I think we're about to finish up chapter 2 real soon. What's going on here? We're about to finish up chapter 2, and Turpentine. What's it for? And we just got out of well, first of all, we continued our investigation following the disappearance of the penitent Magdalene portrait, or painting, I should say, and we went across London following the arrival of Detective David Hardwick of London Scotland Yard. And he's not really keen on Poirot or Hastings conducting the investigation of the missing painting. So these two went to Betty Allen's home, which is right above the theater room, I believe, since she's an actress. And then they found the room all ransacked. And one of the things that they spotted was that the safe was open, but nothing was stolen. I mean, there had some documents, a lot of cash in there, and it wasn't forced open. That was the key thing. It was not forced open, but it was open like someone knew the combination lock. But it was concluded that Betty destroyed her own dressing room, probably because of the argument that she and her husband Johann Christensen had when in regards to what Johann and Irene had an argument about at the night of the painting of the portrait gala. And so afterwards, we tried to visit Irene. We tried to visit Irene Kortsmith's home, but she wasn't there. But before we were able to get to her room, we ran into her neighbor, and her neighbor gave Hastings and Poirot her shawl. And when those two went to Irene's home, nobody was home, so they hung her shawl on the front door. And in case you don't know, the shawl's her dress, what she's wearing over there, like the top half. And there was some blue stains on it, something that stood out to Poirot and Hastings. So we decided to go back to the museum, and we finally got into the restoration room thanks to Evelyn. She gave us the keys, and then we noticed that there was some painting marks, like painted hand marks throughout the entire room, like green, yellow, and blue. And the blue stood out because the blue was on a crate, which was leaned up against the cage of a storage area, and inside the storage area was the frame of the Mary Magdalene painting, the square painting that we recognize. So the painting is gone, but the frame is still there. So we deduced that based on the shawl, the blue markings on the shawl of Irene Kortsmith, they deduced that it was Irene. It was Irene who stole the penitent Magdalene painting. So now we're trying to see where she's at, where the painting is at, but we got to talk with Detective Hardvick, what we've discovered. And which should, I think, wrap up Chapter 2, and we're going to roll into Chapter 3 of this game. So let's continue on with this game right here. My apologies, I had to get some water. The heat continues to roll on in California, and I'm kind of...
What can I do?
It's not as bad as it was, because the humidity was pretty rough last week, thanks to the tropical storm. But it's getting much better now, so the heat is improving.
Merci, mademoiselle.
I don't know if that's such a thing, considering I don't like the heat so often during the summer. Wait, how did we end up there? Were we supposed to be entering from here? Okay.
I suppose I can spare a minute? I will not take up any more of your time.
If you want to deal with him, fine by me.
Okay, what am I supposed to do now?
I will not take up any more. What do you need? What can I do? Merci. I hope you're getting... Merci.
I might as well go back. Let me go back out into the streets to see where I'm supposed to go. I'm missing something. Hey, Betty, let's see.
You're just full of questions, aren't you? Where did you get that?
It was found in a vent at the museum. Perhaps the very last thing I expected to find.
Yes. Well, thank you. I knew I had lost it somewhere.
A clearly valuable ring has just been returned to Madame. and she acts as though it means nothing to her. And I would not describe throwing a ring at one's husband resulting in it being stuck in a vent as a case of losing it. It is clear Madame Hélène felt no sickness at the gala, rather anger. In a moment of rage, she threw her ring at her husband before exiting the museum. And having seen the damage that she has caused in her own dressing room, one can conclude that it was the state of her marriage that allowed her emotions to get the better of her and act so rashly. You have been most helpful. The detective inspector will now be able to see as plain as day that Mademoiselle Court Smythe is the guilty party. Now to find him. With the other remaining guests' movements all accounted
Him?
for,
You mean her?
she was the only one capable of making haste with the painting.
You're just full of questions, aren't you?
You have been most helpful.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
Merci.
I guess it's time to go back to the museum now that we figured out where to give that ring to. Now let's head back.
Ah, Detective, you're here.
Look and you shall find. How may I be of assistance?
Oh, well, I've had the photographs from the Garda developed.
That's good thinking, Miss Farquhar.
Oui, very kind, mademoiselle.
He's talking to... Is that Hastings or Johann? With Horace. There's Hercule again, looking dapper. And who's that behind him? Is that Betty or... I can't tell who that is. Let's see, and then... Wait a minute. Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me see something real quick. So, Hercule's on the right. In front of him is Horace. Behind... So, the top row is Aylesworth. And then you got the couple, Betty and Johann in the front. And then there's... Wait. Irene couldn't have gotten the key from Evelyn. Irene is not in the picture at all. And what is Anastasia pointing at? So Anastasia and Hastings are looking at something. And then you have Florence in the front, and obviously Zacharias in the top middle, but yeah, we're not going to bother him with this.
There is nothing left for us
Where?
to do but to
Hold on,
take
I
our
didn't-
findings to Detective Inspector Hardwick.
Do you think he'll listen?
It is his duty as a high-ranking officer of the law. We have done all but arrest Mademoiselle Court Smythe for him. If it is the accolade that he desires, he may have it.
I was thinking that while you were speaking with Miss Court Smythe, I could try and find Mr. Christensen at their home.
It would certainly be more efficient. An excellent idea.
Am I tripping or did I not see?
Him with a funny accent. He was here earlier asking the same questions. All I want is a bit of peace.
I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required immediately.
Is that a fire?
Lord Poirot, that's a lot of smoke.
And now you are up to speed with the situation. I have evaluated the position we find.
If you're going to use the fire extinguisher, now would be the time.
Très bien.
That's it. One more should do it.
Detective Inspector, it is imperative we search the crime scene as soon as possible.
You mean my crime scene?
If I may, I can count on one hand how many crime scenes I have seen in my life, and although they are somewhere I don't wish to spend too much time, as the representative of Lloyd's of London Bank, it is my responsibility to handle all matters regarding the now stolen painting.
A weak attempt, but I've got more on my plate than dealing with some paper pusher getting his knickers in a twist. You've got until I return to do whatever it is you need to do. And if I find one thing out of place...
You may question my authority in this case, but I will not have my professionalism questioned.
Whatever you say.
That's what I like about Poirot. He's very stern. He's up to the task to complete the cases. Okay, maybe that was Irene Smith. That looked like Anastasia, but I guess that the woman on the left was Irene. Sales ledger. Let's see what transactions took place here.
Aha. Aha.
So there's the key. The same turpentine from the restoration room? Let me open the cupboard.
Huh.
50-pound notes. Oh, look at that. Wait, twice? So August 1st, 75 pounds for Edgar than many. Are these the paintings? August 5th, Penitent Magdalene. Wait, why are there two Penitent Magdalenes? 150 pounds, A Morning in Bloom, and then now August 8th, another Penitent Magdalene? I mean, granted, there are different Penitent Magdalene portraits, but why does she have two of them? One's 150 pounds, the other one's 100 pounds.
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required.
Of course. What do you need? What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene.
Oh my god, there's the painting, but let me look at something real quick.
Oh.
Oh, tragic.
Huh. Ah. Ah. From analyzing the victim's body, I can conclude that the cause of death was not dead by the flames.
Not by the flames? Then what?
That is what we are yet to determine. Huh. Oh.
So she's a chain smoker?
Aha.
Oh, is that the same heel? Oh, never mind.
Ah.
Is this a necklace? A pin through one of the links? I think I know how she may have died, but hold on. What's this?
Aha. Oh.
Is that a syringe?
Huh. Ah.
Painting's destroyed.
Ah.
Oh no, it's not real. Okay.
Oh.
That probably explains why there's two. Well, maybe she painted it herself. I don't know. We'll see. Why's the window open? Alright, let's see if we can do some stuff. gonna start off with this. So we got cherry tobacco flavored dog ends, the snuff box. This time with the fruity tobacco, champagne, and an empty bottle of turpentine.
The answer was staring me in the face.
Am I missing something else?
Aha. What a revelation.
Wait, what was that? Oh, can I compare with the other one?
Didn't you speak with her neighbor before? Might she be able to help?
I think I know what Irma was doing.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
From analyzing the victim's body, I can conclude that the cause of death was not dead by the flames.
Not by the flames? Then what?
That is what we are yet to determine.
What can I do for you? Mr. Poirot, you are a genius. What can I do for you?
Is it? I think it's this right here. Oh, what the hell?
That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn.
She's painting pictures to sell, basically making replicas from the real thing.
What can I do for you? That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn. What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene.
What do you need? What can I do?
Let us get...
What do you need? It wasn't an accident. It was set on purpose, using turpentine to douse any evidence of them being there, and the forgery.
An almost perfect execution, had we not arrived in time before the evidence had burned away.
It just
But
happened
why
within
try
30
to get
minutes,
rid
I
of
guess.
the necklace?
Spoken like a true detective.
What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene. Something just does not feel right. Order and method. That... I must act on... One step closer to revealing the truth.
Some forms of fraud.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
So that's why there's two transactions of the Penitent Magdalene painting, £150 and £100 respectively, within the week.
Oh.
What do you need? Of course, the painting. Irene had made forgeries of the Penitent Magdalene painting and was likely selling them for a pretty penny, I might add. What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene. Huh.
Is it that copper again? What do you want?
I was hoping to ask you some questions regarding the fire. May I ask your name?
You aren't coming in. You can get that into your head now. Mrs. Colsham. Camilla Colsham.
Merci, Madame Colsham.
She hardly had any visitors, but yesterday it was like she had a sign up offering out free ale.
If you would be so kind as to talk us through the events as you remember them.
Well, I saw her leaving with a couple of paintings under her arm. You've seen her work? Not really my cup of tea. Then there was that posh-looking chap. I heard him before I saw him. Like an elephant on those stairs. Next came the professional-looking fella. He's got some money in those pockets, that's for sure. I saw him leaving with a painting, too. Oh, and the argument with another man? I couldn't hear what it was all about, but he had a set of lungs on him.
So though she was alone with the dude.
You are doing a wonderful job, Madame Colsham.
You can keep the patronizing tone to yourself. She must have turned her radio up to disguise what they were saying, but I tell you this, I'd rather have listened to them than that racket. It wasn't long before he was storming down the stairs. I don't think he'd heard the expression light-footed before.
Would you be able to remember any other details of the gentleman?
Through this people, you can barely tell who's man and woman. I didn't hear her leave, but when I heard that door downstairs slam, I knew it was her. I opened my door and gave her what for. And you know what she did? She waved me off, bottle of bubbles in hand, ranting about being dry. She looked 2 sheets to the wind, if you ask me. Only after did she turn the radio down. I wasn't going to waste the peace and quiet, and I got ready for bed. I was getting right into the exciting bit of my book. Perkins' first run, you know. I do like Perkins. Well, that's when I first smelt the smoke coming from the hall. And then you lot showed up.
Merci, Madame. You have been most accommodating.
Oh, and I found this in the garden. It's obviously hers. I was going to put it through her letterbox, but, well, you know.
The cork from a champagne bottle. It would not be a giant leap to assume this came from Mademoiselle Courtsmith's apartment. A smell lingers on the cork. Bitter almonds. Merci, Madame Colsham. Magnifique.
Alright, let's go back up and check and see what if why do you turn that way? And check and see if the cork matches with the bottles that she has in her room, in her apartment here.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. The one near the painting.
Huh.
It is open. maybe not. Alright, well, let's talk with Hastings about what we discovered from Miss Colstrom.
What do you need? What can I do?
Let us get...
What do you need? Almonds? I've never had champagne that tasted of almonds.
One would hope not. Mademoiselle's lips may hold the missing clue we require.
What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene.
I guess we're going to examine her lips now.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
The syringe.
Where is the sense in that?
What do you need? What can I do for you?
Let us get back...
What do you need? I don't know if I'm cut out for this.
Take your time. Consider what we have seen and learnt of Mademoiselle Courtsmythe's time here yesterday.
Okay, firstly, we know that she had a number of visitors and an argument with one of them. Among these visitors, one left with a painting, perhaps another forgery.
Très bien.
Irene wasn't drinking alone, and whoever she was drinking with likely poisoned her. The killer used a syringe to inject a liquid form of the poison through the cork and into the bottle.
Potassium cyanide. Traces of the compound can be found in nature, but dangerous levels, such as those present, can be detected by its notable almond
That's
smell.
right. Potassium cyanide does. I learned that in chemistry class. It does give off like a nutty almond smell.
And she fell victim shortly after in her chair. What are you going to tell him?
The truth. He may hope for a simple and somewhat convenient version of events, but he cannot ignore the facts that we shall present.
My crime scene's still intact?
Of course, Detective Inspector. There is something that...
There's nothing more to say.
Pardon, Detective Inspector. The truth is that Mademoiselle Irene Courtsmythe was murdered.
Right you are. I'll be sure to make a note.
But you won't.
Excuse me? Are you forgetting who you're talking to?
That's funny.
He is well aware of your authority and your capability of coming to the same conclusion. We only wish to inform you of our findings.
Well, my men have been in, as have I, and I've concluded that the mademoiselle, as you so elegantly called her, made off with the painting and decided to have a few drinks to celebrate. She passed out drunk in the chair, candle still lit, and the place went up like a match.
That's not what happened.
Detective Inspector, s'il vous plaît. It is really not that simple.
Who are you calling simple?
He's not calling you simple, he's saying that isn't how it happened. How can you ignore the bottle of champagne that had been tampered with? The smell of poison on the cork.
You're both experts in poison now, are you?
I do not wish to stand here and argue credentials. Mademoiselle Court Smythe was killed, not by the fire that burnt through her home, but at the hands of another. Her drink, laced with potassium cyanide.
Quite the imagination you two have.
Look, we can show.
No. We shall leave the detective inspector to discover the truth for himself. Detective, adieu. Monsieur Hastings, you must learn which battles are worth the fight. Besides, we have no time to stand squabbling with him. We have a murder to solve.
That was quite a night. I feel exhilarated, yet exhausted. Triumphant at what we have discovered, but mournful for Miss Court Smythe.
It is being able to control those emotions and still see the bigger picture that separates the best detectives from those that merely like the thought of such responsibility.
So do you think it must have been one of the guests at the gala?
An accomplice disguised as a guest turned murderer. A master criminal they may appear to be, but they have never crossed paths with Belgium's greatest detective.
I think I just felt a chill.
Now we must speak with the guests of the gala again, as well as find Monsieur Christiansen, who has continued to evade my questions. I have no doubt one or more of them will hold the answers we require regarding the death of Mademoiselle Court Smythe.
Alright, so looks like this went from a case of thievery to a case of murder, and it's very whoa. And it's very tragic that Irene Court Smythe, the person that stole the painting, just became a victim of murder. So, I'm gonna end the episode a little early. I feel a little tired, but I'm really excited to see how this story is turning up. So. We thought that we were gonna come arrest Irene, but now we gotta figure out who murdered her, and how is it that she got herself involved with these forgery paintings, selling forged paintings, and more importantly, who the other guy was that she got into a shouting match with in her apartment before she got murdered, as Miss Cullisham, her neighbor, spoke of. So. This will be an early episode. I will see you guys in episode 4, where we can continue a new case to find out who murdered Irene Court Smythe. Alright guys, I will see you guys later. Take care.